We might be back. I think we're back.
Oh, no, we're not.
Stream finished. Dismiss. This is stupid. Stupid.
Hello?
Hello, hello, hello. Anybody? Like, Twitch is not, like, letting me go live. There we are.
Live now.
We are live on Twitch now.
Hello, folks.
So, I don't know what is going on, why it's doing this.
Guys, this is being really stupid and it's really annoying. We're live.
Are we live on here?
No, we're not.
Now we're not live on YouTube?
No.
Why?
Oh, we are live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube, but we don't have our thumbnail on. So fix the thumbnail and we should be good, I think. Hello, folks.
We are back.
I think, I hope. Guys, this is really annoying.
Well, part of the issue is YouTube has, like we put our... Here's the thing. And nobody's out there, so it doesn't make any difference. But I'm going to talk to you anyway. We put our thumbnail on our YouTube and we save it. And, like, it doesn't save the thumbnail half the time.
It's so weird. I don't understand why it does it. But there you go. We're live. Hello.
We are live.
Wow, that took
We
forever
are
to get out.
live.
Hey, guys.
We are live.
And we are live on Twitch, too. Got the notification.
We are live.
Hello.
We are live. We are live.
Tribal Chief.
Tribal chief, not tribal chief. Tribal chief. Here. Sup?
What's up, dude?
How's it going, Johnny Lee? All right. Raw. Monday Night Raw.
This show kind of sucked.
I didn't think it was bad.
I didn't think
okay.
it was the greatest show ever. I
No, it
feel
wasn't
like
the
there
greatest
was
show
a
ever.
lot of, like, not that it...
We had the greatest show ever a couple weeks ago.
No. I
About a
feel
month
like
ago.
there was
2
a
months
lot
ago.
of, like, very drawn-out segments that were kind of... They just kind of took too long.
Well, I would agree. It's
Or
slow
felt
moving.
kind of silly, you know?
Not, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know what you're saying. Raw was meh.
It was kind
Yeah.
of meh. So...
Hello, James. How you doing?
What is up? Yeah, hello. Hi, guys.
So now look. Now we're not going to get our split chat here. Like, this is stupid. So we'll have to kind of watch that over there. Yeah, nothing works.
So,
Nothing works.
Ever.
Technology is terrible. But we are live!
Hey, guys. You want to just get into Raw?
Yeah, let's just get into Raw.
Okay. So we start off the show like every other week. This gets a bit
That is
annoying.
usually how the show starts. Is like starts off the show.
This gets a bit annoying. Not
Lana
gonna lie.
pissed me off. Dana and Mandy should have won the tag titles. I know, James. She ruined it for you.
But this is a bit annoying.
You should thank her
How
or something.
I feel like every Raw for the last several weeks has started with either a Randy Orton promo or a Drew McIntyre promo.
Yes.
This week it happened to be a Randy Orton promo. So he comes
Correct.
out and he talks about being the best. He's not just the best, he is the best, period. He's better than Edge, better than Undertaker, better than Shawn Michaels, better than John Cena, and most certainly he's better than Drew McIntyre. And
I believe he's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
so he's going on talking about how he's the best.
He has now taken over Bret Hart.
He says, what? Let me just read this to you. Randy says he is no longer a legend. He is now a legend. Soak that in for a second. He is no longer a legend. He is now a legend.
I don't think he had a clue what he wanted to say.
What?
Hey, look, it came up. 10 minutes later.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
So I don't know what that was about, but he's no longer a legend.
Yeah.
He is a legend. I don't know. And so he...
Legend killer.
Well, but see, maybe that's what it was supposed to be. But I'm pretty sure it was, I'm no longer a legend. I'm a legend.
I'm no longer a legend killer. I am a legend.
I don't know.
And now the new legend killer will come and kill me. Randy's no longer a legend killer, but a legend.
Well, that would make more sense.
Good morning, Scott.
What's up? I fell asleep.
That's for those of you that have watched Good Morning Vietnam. You know.
That would not be me.
Huh?
That would not be me. I fell asleep.
You've never seen Good Morning Vietnam.
I fell asleep during Orton's promo. I know the feeling, dude. I feel like... Let me just finish going through this before I go on a little mini rant here.
It wouldn't be a Maven rant, not a mini rant.
Maven rant, mini M. I mean, it all kind of just falls into the same place. Anyways, he then dares anybody in the locker room to come and, take his title. Alexa Bliss comes out and she's like, and her gloves say, what do they say? Play pain. That's what they say. And she holds up the pain glove, and then she's like, he might be here or something. And then Drew McIntyre shows up and hits Orton with Claymore. And then,
what the hell was that? Never mind.
And then,
Is he talking about me going, good morning, Scott?
Probably.
Good Morning Vietnam. If you've never seen the movie, go check it out. Robin Williams is in it.
Okay.
Yeah. Mork from Mork.
Okay.
Mork and Mindy.
All right.
You have no clue what I'm talking about, do you?
Cool. I know it's a television show. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
So Drew McIntyre comes out. Orton gets hit with Claymore. Then Miz and Morrison come out, and Miz is all like, "I'm cashing in," and he gets kicked in the face by Drew. So he gets to keep the Money in the Bank briefcase because the bell never rang. So I don't really know the purpose of this, because it makes Miz kind of look like a fool, and I don't know, stupid.
No,
I like the Alexa part. I thought the Alexa part was cool, but that's about it, because the Randy Orton promo is pretty much the same crap that he runs on us every week, and it's hard to get into the show when you start the show off with the same promo that you've seen 18 times over the last 77 weeks.
The 77 John says, I love your shirt, Mr. G. Well, thank you very much. It is pretty cool, isn't it? Let me in.
It's pretty cool. So, yeah, I don't know. It's really hard to get into Raw when we start off with the same promo that we saw, the last 18 weeks in a row.
No, I think it was okay. I think the way they did it was good. I think this is a way to show that Drew is not going to let anybody win the title. That's just my feeling.
I don't know. I get that, but at the same time, I don't know. It's just, it really just sets up the rest of, opening the show with segments like this really just sets up the rest of the show. For me, it's not that it goes downhill from there, but I feel like we don't get any better than what we start off with. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's just, the Randy Orton promos are all the same every week, and it's you gotta make some new material, dude, because this is not working for me anymore. It doesn't get me excited for the rest of the show.
I thought it was good. I think it was good the way they did it. I was okay with it. I don't have any issues with it. I think the idea is to show that Drew is not going to let anybody win the title. So I'm thinking, here's my thought. We're setting up a Randy Orton versus The Fiend, and Drew is not going to let The Fiend win the title. That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay, great. And then Drew gets to take the title off of Randy, and they get a fight for 50th time.
Well, I don't think they'll fight after
and
that.
And then I think Drew should just take the title and run for the hills, because then it's all going to be Randy and Fiend. And
I think we'll be having a Randy Fiend deal going on or Randy Brave thing going on.
Which I'm all for that. But the issue that I have now is that Randy has the title, and I don't want to see the Fiend and Randy in a title match, because they're going to come up with some stupid idea to make the Fiend look weak or dumb or idiotic, and so it's not my idea of a good time.
I've also seen a rumor where Roman is going to take the title off of Randy.
I've seen that rumor too. I don't know how
so I don't know.
That rumor got started.
I don't either, but I've seen it, so we'll see what happens.
I don't think that that's the brightest idea, though. I really don't. I think combining the two top titles is almost like combining the women's titles. I don't think it needs to be done because I don't think it's the best idea to have Roman running all over all 3 shows, or all 2 shows, I guess, and being in feuds with 2 separate people on 2 different days of the week. It doesn't fly with me.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think I don't know. I think that Randy... I think the whole idea of having Randy lose the title, like, to Roman would not be bad.
I do, because it would mean that they're combining the 2 titles, and that would be stupid.
Well, I've said they need to do that anyway, so, it might be stupid, but I've said they need to do that. Off topic, guys, are you all ready for tomorrow? I'm always ready for tomorrow, James. When tomorrow never comes, that's not a good sign. Why was Raw late tonight? They said 8, but the show starts at 9. It started at 7 here. And I'm guessing probably, Johnny Lee, do you guys have a time change? Well, that wouldn't make sense because it started an hour later. I have no idea, Johnny Lee.
No clue.
Hopefully we can get that tool out of office tomorrow. Yes, hopefully, James. If not, I think we're in some serious trouble here in the United States. James, nothing ain't off topic over here. That's right, Johnny Lee. Nothing is off topic here. We take on all comers. We answer 99.4% of the questions that are asked of us. Why was Raw late tonight? They said 8, but the show starts at 9. It's like deja vu. I think I read that once before. Drew is great tonight. Yes, definitely great tonight. You said what, Mr. G? I said, good morning, Scott. And that was in reference to Good Morning Vietnam.
Alexa's doing an awesome job with those possessed eyes.
This is some of her best stuff. Her promos are good. I think her what she is doing, it was kind of like what Sasha was doing before Sasha's last promo. Because I felt Sasha was into the promos up until her last one. Mm-hmm. I feel that Alexa, since not doing like the Moment of Bliss, playing this character,
yeah,
it doesn't seem to be as fake.
Well, she always has played a better heel or like a better sort of bad guy type of a character. So I think it's just she is better at it, I think.
Probably, but I mean, again, I think it just doesn't seem as fake to me.
Yeah, like I said, she plays a better bad guy. She always has.
Yeah, which is good. So
after this, we have a backstage promo with Miz and Morrison, and they are mad. Miz and Morrison then challenged Drew to a 2-on-1 handicap match for the main event. Can't wait. So exciting.
Drew, we challenge you because it takes 2 of us to try and beat one of you.
So we can kind of talk about that now.
So, let's fight.
Because
we're tougher than you when there's 2 of us and 1 of you.
I don't know.
Whoop.
I don't know what this match was. Like, Miz and Morrison and Drew. Okay, fine. It made Miz and Morrison look like chumps once again. I mean, if they couldn't make them look more just like, why are we doing this the last 2 weeks? I don't know why. Like, you put the Money in the Bank briefcase on Miz, right? And then you put him in matches with Drew McIntyre 2 weeks in a row and make him look like a chump. Why? Why? Yeah, you want to explain that to me?
Well, yes, I'll explain it to you. Okay.
Why?
This is to help Drew. This has nothing to do with Miz and Morrison. This is all about Drew.
But the thing is, why put the Money in the Bank briefcase on him if you're going to literally make him look like a fool? That's what I have an issue with.
Well, because I don't think it's making him look like a fool. I think he came out to cash in, and then they came out and kicked him in the head.
But
Drew came out and stopped it and said, and then of course Miz and Morrison challenged him because Drew kicked the crap out of him. Now I would have liked it more when they had the whole Drew in backstage with Sheamus. Mm-hmm. If originally they would have said, okay, it's going to be Miz and Morrison versus Drew, and Drew has to find a tag team partner, And then Drew goes, well, I can't find a starts to come out, and I can't find a partner. Nobody I can't find somebody that wants to team with me. And then they have Sheamus come up and say, hey, how about we tag up? I'll be your partner. Let's go take them on. I think it would have been a lot better that way. I don't know. I admit I'm not a biggest Alexa fan, but damn, I just love her work in this storyline. Definitely good. Scott says, three things in life are certain. Death, taxes, Lana going through tables in the fall of 2020. Saw someone say Lana is going to be the sole survivor at Survivor Series. Ugh. Yes, that would not shock me.
I know the feeling, dude.
This match was like KO Sammy versus AJ Styles in 2018. Yes. I felt really bad for R-Truth. I always feel bad for R-Truth. Why they do that to him, I don't know. The 77 John, I would pay good money to see Chris Cyborg take on Randy Orton. Yeah, that might be good. So you don't think about Miz having the briefcase? Do you?
Inquiring minds want to know, Mr. G.
Huh?
Inquiring minds want to know, Mr. G.
So you don't think about Miz having the briefcase?
I think that question was directed at you. That's what I have an issue with, is you put the briefcase on him and then you make him look like a chump. And you're sitting here saying it doesn't affect the way people look at him or perceive him.
I don't think this makes him look like a chump,
though. Because why did you put the briefcase on him to then have him look like a fool?
But the thing is, I don't think it, hurts him.
But, please elaborate.
Well, you see, I think that with the way they did it, okay, with the whole idea of Drew, again, the idea was to make Drew look strong. It wasn't about Miz. Miz saw the opportunity. First off, why Miz was standing over, on that side of, the ring, because he wasn't even back in the dressing room, was beyond me, okay? He come over from the announcer table.
But I'm not even talking about the cash-in. I'm talking about the match itself. Why are we putting The Miz in matches against Drew McIntyre 2 weeks in a row where he's beaten and looks like a fool?
Because they're trying to
Why are we doing that?
Because they're trying to
But why at the expense of the Miz?
Because
why can't you do somebody else? Put somebody else in that match instead of the guy who literally just won the Money in the Bank briefcase and we're supposed to believe is going to be able to cash in on Randy Orton at some point.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think it's going to be a matter of how they end up doing it, I don't know. But I think you're going to see Miz and McIntyre feuding.
I am almost certain.
Because I think McIntyre's going to win the title, and then you're going to see Miz and McIntyre feuding.
But I don't know if McIntyre's going to win the title back right now. I thought
He's
that
gonna
they
win it back
might.
soon.
I thought that they were going to try and do something stupid where they did McIntyre versus Miz for the stupid briefcase so Drew can cash in on him. I would not put it past them to do that either. Even
I
though
think
they
the Miz is
literally
going to try.
just did that with Otis.
Miz is going to try cashing in on. I think Miz is going to try cashing in on McIntyre because I think McIntyre is going to win the title back.
I don't know. Either or.
James says blame Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Yes. 100%, James.
We talk about what we want.
We talk about what we want, when we want, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's the bottom line, because Mr. G said so.
Ricochet won a match, surprisingly. Yeah, now wait till you hear who his opponent was. So we then have Elias, the promo. He talks about Universal Truth being number one on iTunes or whatever, and he begins to perform one of his songs, and then Jeff Hardy comes out, and then we get Jeff Hardy versus Elias, and this was a guitar and a pole match.
I was impressed by this.
Dude.
I couldn't believe...
The guitar shot? The guitar didn't break.
They brought out the wrong guitar, that's why.
That's what I'm thinking, and Elias... He's real lucky he didn't get hit in the head or something because that did not break. It bounced right off of his back and it looked like it really freaking hurt.
And Elias is going, the crap, dude!
I am never doing
I brought the wrong guitar out!
Jeff Hardy was looking very... Well, they probably had two guitars and then they took the one that Elias was using. That was probably an actual guitar.
Maybe.
And they put it on the thing.
Could be.
They're dumb. Anyways... So after the match, Jeff Hardy was all like, oh, not like, oh, I won, but like, Elias, are you okay? And so, Jeff Hardy won the match. So, okay.
What are your thoughts of champions losing non-title matches? Do you want to go first?
I don't love it because I feel like in certain circumstances, like especially when we're going into a pay-per-view, I feel like having the champion lose on a show doesn't seem to be the best idea. Because I feel like it makes the champion look weak. And I feel like it's almost like, well, that's a bit, you know. Your thoughts?
I do not have issues with a champion losing non-title matches. The only issue I have is it should not be done frequently, just because then it's too obvious what you're doing.
The issue I have with it is more so not about them losing per se. It's more so about because I feel like WWE does this a lot, where if you're we'll just take Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee, for example. Like, they fought each other on Raw before their pay-per-view that they had literally that weekend. And that was a title match. The pay-per-view match was. But the one on Raw wasn't. And so they either have some stupid screwy finish, and they do those for weeks on end when they have these guys fight each other. And then when you get to the pay-per-view, you're like, I don't even care because you've already done so many screwy finishes. Or they have, they can either have the champion lose or not. I mean, it's a bit frustrating in circumstances like that when you have the people fighting each other right before the pay-per-view in a non-title match. Because, I don't know, I feel like it just totally defeats the purpose of doing the match at the pay-per-view then.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I hope that made sense.
John Lee says that was a weak guitar shot. Definitely. Elias versus Jeff Hardy was pointless. Why have Elias lose? That is a good question. No, I don't understand it either. Yeah, the guitar didn't seem to be extra hollowed out. No, and Elias is probably not very happy with it.
Probably not. He's probably a bit like, ow, that really hurt.
Yes. Guitar in a pool match. Loved the match. James loved it so much that he went back and watched it 3 more times.
I didn't love it. I thought it was.
I think they could have done something better with it. I think.
But it wasn't like super. It wasn't like super exciting.
Yeah, Donald Trump versus Joe Biden in a presidential election winner on a pole match. Who you got? I think they both like crash and die because they're both really old, and they wouldn't last very long. Mrs. Gleen has made a clip of something.
Of you, Mr. G said so.
Oh. Yeah, that's right.
That's what that was.
WWE loves to start feuds with champions being pinned in a non-title match. I'm so frustrated with that. Yes, I do not like that.
I know, dude.
I do not like the way they do that. That's what I'm saying is I think if you have a non-title match, it just seems like it's like you said, Scott, it's too often that you know where it's headed. And they need to do something with that. I'd rather see the champion win 80 to 90% of those, if not more. Just because then it's not too obvious on where they're going with it.
Well, because a lot of times,
anytime there's a non-title match,
finishes and stuff, and then they do that like 18 times on the show for whatever reason because they can't make up their mind on who they want to win, and so nobody has any wins or losses on their record whatsoever. Which I mean, it's not like it matters in WWE anyways. But it's like, well, what's the reason to watch the show if 90% of it is screwy finishes? There's no.
Well, I agree.
Purpose.
It's just I think that
it's not like it helps in storylines or anything.
Well, the non-title match, like I said, it's pretty obvious when they do them where they're going with it. So there's no like suspense to it. You can sit there and go, okay, I pretty much know what's going to happen here because the champion's getting beat because you're going to set up a feud. And so it just doesn't work. Like I said, they need to win 80, 90, 95% of those. So, I don't necessarily like the non-title matches. I'm okay with having the non-title matches. I just think that the champion should win more of those because it's too obvious what they're doing with it.
Yeah, man.
James says, I think Shelton and Cedric is going to win the tag titles from New Day.
I
Possible.
thought tonight's match was a tag title match, and I thought they did win the tag titles. Obviously, they did
wrong.
not. So after this, we have Shayna versus Blonde and Blonder. Mandy Rose.
Blonde and Blonder.
I'm sorry, I don't have a good tag team name for them. Blonde and Blonder, that's what we're going out. So yeah, that was what this was. And Lana was at ringside, and Baszler ended up getting a submission on.
We have not talked about
somebody,
the Ricochet match yet, Johnny Lee.
And the match was over. I think it was Dana Brooke.
Yeah, I don't know that the whole Lana thing I do not understand. And I think I said last week she's going to be the one that wins. I think I said last week.
I don't even care.
I think I said last week. You can
I'm pretty
check
sure
it for
you
me,
did.
but
You
I think I said
did.
last week that she's going to be the one that wins, and it's going to come down to her versus the entire rest of the team, and she's going to pull it off and pin the other.
No, she's not going to pull it off. She'll be the last remaining Raw person if she makes it to Survivor Series.
You watch.
But then Team SmackDown's going to kill her because
somehow, some way, she's going to trip, fall,
it would be
pin
stupid.
four
it
people.
Would be dumb for them to do that to the women that they have on Team SmackDown. If they all get beat by Lana, are you freaking kidding me? Bianca Belair getting pinned by Lana? No, I think not. That would make me so mad. No, it shouldn't because it's dumb. Because Lana has about as much talent as the grass. Okay, so it's not worth anything.
Yeah, I agree.
She literally angers me.
Yes.
She's so terrible. Her promos are awful. Her wrestling skills are terrible. Her acting is atrocious. It's
I would agree.
what are you out there for? You're not even good.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's not good. It's she's
terrible.
Well, she is, and so I think that they're going to do this and use this to make
why though?
people, because they're going to do it to make people angry.
It's not about making people angry. They're trying to get people to feel sympathetic for her and like her, and that's not what's happening
Well,
here.
first off, you can't make them feel sympathetic towards her. It's going to be.
It's because she's being put through a freaking table every week, dude.
Well, yeah,
do not pay attention to what they're doing. She's put through a table every single week. And we're supposed to sit there and go,
Did the New Day just come in?
Oh, poor Lana.
Was that the New Day?
Poor Lana. Poor Lana. I'm so sorry for you.
Huh?
You just got... What?
You didn't pay attention.
No, I didn't.
I said, was that the New Day?
Why? What? Huh?
Every single week!
Okay. Sure.
You don't ever watch the New Day?
Okay.
That's kind of what they do.
I don't know the purpose of this! Stupid.
So we have Dana tap to Shayna. Yes. This Drew versus Randy storyline is going forever. Which feud ends first? Randy versus Drew or Rollins versus Mysterio?
Drew versus Randy better end first because I want the Dominic Mysterio and Murphy and Rollins and Aaliyah and Ray feud to continue on for the rest of eternity because it's amazing.
Yes.
And it angers a lot of people, but I am not one of those people. I love it.
Yes.
So, there you go.
Yes. You said it last week, Mr. G. I thought I did. Give me a hell yeah. Oh, not you again. You're back. Is it Sting? Or is it Ant? Or is it Dom?
Or is it the Fiend?
I mean, who is it? I'm not sure who we have in here. If Survivor Series has no stakes, why should I care about Raw versus SmackDown and who wins?
Because it doesn't matter.
The thing is
because it literally doesn't matter.
Okay, it doesn't matter, but the way they've put these teams together, I don't like. Okay?
They put Lana on the Raw Women's team over somebody like Lacey Evans or Peyton Royce. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Okay, but there's no matter who it is, I don't care who it is, okay? They have not built anything. There's no build up to it. there's no, there's no investment in the storyline here. It's just Raw versus SmackDown.
For what? What is the reason?
So,
like for brand supremacy? I mean, does it matter which show is better?
But they could come and tell me. They could come and tell me that the winner of the match is going to be declared like the world champions, and I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. What is the point? There is no point.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, there is no point. But the point I'm making is there's no storyline. If they made a storyline, it doesn't need to be for anything. It's because Bianca Belair hated, got attacked by these three, but there's no storyline to this.
Last year's Survivor Series was free and epic. It was epic. There was a storyline going into it. NXT invading Raw and SmackDown. They went across shows. What was it the year before that? Becky got punched in the face. Or was it 2 years before that? I don't remember. Where they had the whole let's go to Raw and SmackDown thing. I mean, they've had stories going into it, and this is just so bad. So bad. It's not even, worth anything. I mean, there's nothing to it.
No, there's not.
There's no reason for them fighting. It's not like, they haven't even mentioned, it's for brand supremacy to see what the better brand is. There's been none of that.
Nope.
There's not even any, nothing. They're just it's Survivor Series, where Raw's taking on SmackDown. Okay. What?
There's nothing to it.
All right.
Yep. I have more talent in the pocket lint in my work pants than Lana. If Lana pins Bianca at Survivor Series, oh boy, that would be dumb. Definitely.
That's what I'm saying.
Give me holy ass says Mini M looking like a 60s model tonight. Yeah, Dom thought it was great. Plonker.
Yeah, the stupid Lana thing was awful.
Cody says Kylie Ray will be back, James. I have thoughts on that. I will talk about that at the end. Remind me to talk about Kylie Ray.
Okay.
Tell us how you really feel, Maven. She never holds back, James. She always lets you know. She will let you know how she feels.
And Survivor Series is probably going to be one heck of a pay-per-view.
Yes.
Said nobody ever.
Mrs. Gleen says, rant!
Hashtag Maven's Rants.
That was kind of...
Lana is not...
That's actually an exclamation rant, not a hashtag.
Oh, sorry, whatever.
Yeah.
Lana is not a sympathetic babyface. 7 weeks in a row, Lana's going to win the 2021 Rumble, isn't she? No, she shouldn't, because that would be stupid. That would be dumb, and that would anger me. So no, we're not doing that.
No. By the way, make sure you click that thumbs up button and like this, because we are here.
And we're cool.
To entertain you.
And, yeah,
as much as possible.
The video, because it's epic.
Yes. Also, why did they split up the Iconics? No clue, Scott. Peyton has zero chemistry with Lacey Evans. Peyton and Billy should be a team still. Yes. I thought maybe they were just going to eliminate the tag team division. Obviously not.
Obviously not. It's still a thing. And they were people were all like, oh, Peyton Royce is going to get a big singles push. Yeah, right.
She did.
Whatever. In her dreams, she will. Because right now, she's getting jack squat. And you have Billy Kay over on SmackDown, who's literally standing backstage, cutting promos, trying to get on TV. And then when she finally does, she's put in a match, and she has this look on her face like, well, that means nothing, because I'm going to lose it, so whatever. What?
Yes.
The women's division, it's so bad right now. It's off. It's really bad. Survivor Series desperately needs Charlotte Flair. And I would never say that otherwise. But they desperately need Charlotte Flair, at least on Team Raw, if they want a chance to do anything good. Because right now, trash.
Yes.
The Raw women's division. What is Asuka doing?
I don't know, but they need...
Can somebody explain to me what Asuka's doing?
I don't know, but...
Because where even is she?
Can I?
What is she? She didn't defend her title at the last pay-per-view. Where's Asuka? She hasn't been on TV for what it feels like forever at this point. I mean, so what are we doing with her? The women's division on Raw needs absolutely nothing.
That's because Charlotte's the best there is. The best there was.
It's not about her being the best there is.
Will be.
It's about...
Thank you very much. All right.
My pen.
Hakeem says, oop.
Oop.
I'm not sure if he meant to say poop or if he just meant oop.
The thing is, it's not about Charlotte being the best. It's just about they need somebody somebody else on the show who can work and who is good and who can be a bad guy or something, or make somebody feel something about the women's division other than just like, why should I care? That's kind of the point I'm at.
Yeah.
And I don't like Charlotte Flair, generally.
She's the best there is, the best there ever was, and the best there ever will be. No. Just saying. Y'all thoughts on my tweet earlier today about Kylie Ray not wrestling due to health reasons. Glad she's taking time for herself. She even took her Twitter down. James, I have some thoughts. I will tell you my thoughts here in just a little bit on her. Ever since Rousey left, the focus on the women's division is non-existent.
See,
I think
I disagree with
that
that
is
statement
part of the problem.
a little bit, because I feel like they were still heavily promoting the
But
women's
it's not just
division
that. It's,
after Rousey left. Was it as much as they were? No, because the only person that... But the issue I have with the whole Rousey statement is when Rousey was in WWE, the only person who was getting over was Ronda Rousey. And that was it. Nobody else was ever put over on television. I mean, she held the belt for 87 years. And whenever she had matches, some of them were good, and some of them were just like squash matches and weren't worth anything. And so the women weren't getting over when she was there. Was there a focus on them? Yes, there was more of a focus on them, but it wasn't like helping anybody. And then you had, after she left, I mean, you had the whole like year run of Becky Lynch, which some of it was good and some of it was okay. And so, I mean, they've just kind of been like, I don't know what the word is. They've just kind of been sitting there, just like, they have floaties on, okay? They have floaties on their arm, and they're floating there in the water, right? And there's a small hole in the floaty, and it's just slowly deflating, and I feel like we're kind of almost drowning now, and that's kind of an issue. So somebody needs to patch up the hole on the floaty so they can swim again. That was the weirdest, like, analogy thing I've ever done in my life, but okay. It got my point across. Okay, but you know what I'm saying, though?
No, I don't, but here's the issue. Okay. The issue is, it's the writing. It's not being creative. They don't know how to create and use people with the ability.
I'm not denying that.
Because if you look at what they're doing, give me a holy ass as Alexa's a woman. You look at what they're doing with her, all right? What they're doing with Alexa, they have reinvented her. They've allowed her.
They have, but that's the issue, though. They're not doing that with the entire women's division.
That's what I'm saying. Is it's the writing. It's not.
Okay, I'm not saying it's the wrestlers.
Putting them into the correct position.
They have done a poor job of booking the women's division, of writing their stories for the last couple years.
But it's not just the women; it's the men too. The men, they do the same thing with the men.
I get that, but what I'm talking about right now is the women's division. Okay, that's what we were just talking about.
Well, you are, but
which is why I'm focusing on the women's division. Okay, but I'm not making it sound like the men's division is all, peachy keen and it's great.
Don't make it seem like...
some of the storylines for the men suck too, okay? Their creative team is trash 90% of the time, and Vince comes up with stupid ideas that he thinks are funny when the rest of the world is sitting there going, how did this make it on TV? Because this is just god-awful. So I'm not denying that they have issues with storytelling stuff, because they do. Across the board, they suck. What I'm talking about was the women's division, because Scott put a point out there, and I was responding.
Okay, but you have to tie it onto everything that's happening and everything they're doing in WWE, because it's not just the women's division. Okay, it's like everything they have done.
The women's division is suffering the most right now. If you look at where they were about a year and a half ago, they were in a much better place than where they're at right now.
Okay, but look who they had.
But I don't care, though. That's what I'm talking about. Is the issue is what's the deal here? In the last year and a half, it has severely gone downhill to the point where your women's champion, Asuka, is not on TV right now. Why is that? Because the creative team doesn't know what they're doing. They can't come up with a good storyline, apparently. I don't know, dude. I'm not saying that the men's division is great or anything, but again, it's severe. It's severely noticeable with the women's division because of where they were at. And look at where they are now.
Okay, but you have to be able to. First off, when you put the entertainers out there, they have to be able to go out and do their thing. All right, Sasha's a perfect example of that. She did excellent leading up to the Becky feud or to the Bayley feud and Bayley match. She did an excellent job. She was awesome at what she did. Her promos were spot on. I said that I had not seen her do those type of promos until she really got into the feud with Bayley. And then she wins the championship. And I felt that her promo last week went back to where she was before the Bayley feud. It was like crap. So, when you put people out there and you give them a chance and you have them do these things, they need to get out and perform. And as far as Asuka goes, I don't know why they're not putting Asuka out there. For whatever reason, they're not putting her out there. But they need to, I think one of the issues with Asuka is that finding someone that can feud with her that's going to make it seem like a legitimate feud. And so it's better to keep her off rather than have her go face Lana.
Well, instead of doing a feud between Shayna and Asuka, or Nia and Asuka, what are we doing with Shayna and Nia? We have them in the tag team division, where nothing means anything for the tag belts. So why don't you take Jax and Baszler out of the tag division to do a singles feud with your Raw Women's Champion? Why didn't you do that? Because that would make more sense than what they're doing with them right now.
I would agree. I think they're trying to keep the tag titles relevant.
Except it's not keeping them relevant.
But I think the way Nia and
how I like what Nia and Shayna have done, sure. I mean, they've done some decent stuff, but they could be doing even better stuff in feuds with Asuka, which they're not doing right now.
Well, I
and
agree.
It's not
I think
helping
that would help out
Asuka's not on
the women's
TV.
singles title. I've
and
said
it's
get
like
rid
you
of.
go from having the Raw Women's Championship on television every week, every single week. The Raw Women's Champion is out there doing a good promo, putting on a good match. You go from that to literally not having your champion on TV for weeks at a time. It's freaking ridiculous.
Well,
and it's like,
but a lot of that has to do with being able to create a match that's worthy of being put out there. And as long as Shayna and Nia, why they have them as the tag...
Take them out of the tag division!
Okay, listen to what I'm saying!
Like...
I have said dump the women's tag titles. The women's tag titles are pointless. They're stupid. You don't have enough women and enough women's teams to be able to do it. It's dumb. Unless you're going to do, like cross promotion in different, different, like NXT, SmackDown, Raw. You can have people going cross for tag team. It's not going to work. The tag team will not work because there's not enough women. You can sit here and say, well, there is. No, there's not. So you cannot do that. Okay? Will not work. And so...
Well, also, they haven't really helped themselves when they break up all of their tag teams.
Well, that's just it. I'm saying. But again, they don't have enough women to do the tag team titles because if you have 3 tag team... I mean, you'd have to have the same people wrestling every week for a tag team division. And you can't do that. Because people get tired of seeing the same thing over and over again. So drop the tag teams for the women. Just have the women do singles. Or go out and sign, 60 more women to come in and have tag team division.
They are taking these singles women, the women that are in the singles division, they are taking them and throwing them together in meaningless, pointless tag teams. Which is not helping the women's singles division. So, and maybe we should just take a look at that and just, like you said, just...
Well, like I said, you can take a look at numbers and there just aren't enough women. There are not enough women to be able to have a tag team division.
So, maybe we just need to get rid of it so then your singles storylines can get better.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know.
I've said that for a long time.
I'm not saying that they shouldn't do that, okay? That was never my argument.
Hakeem says the women's division is suffering the most right now. Definitely face it, WWE needs Becky. They are screwed without Becky.
See, I don't think it's necessarily about Becky. They need Becky.
It's beyond Becky. What? There's a lot of... I said it's beyond Becky. There's a lot more that needs to be done.
I was like, what?
They are writing stories. The problem is involves superstars that nobody cares about. Lana put through a table is fine. But give us stories for the women. Tunnel story. storytelling from WWE. I agree, Gimmy. Yeah, it definitely is. We need Becky. James, we don't need Becky. I mean, she'd help out, but she's pregnant right now, and I don't think that they could like write a story where she could come in and beat somebody up. Just saying.
Hey,
maybe the baby would get punched in the nose, and the baby then becomes a superstar.
8 watching,
3 likes, 5 imposters. Who are the imposters? That's a good question.
I played Among Us for the first time the other day, and I was terrible. I got eliminated in the first round.
John Lee says, if you ask me, Shayna needs the Raw Women's title. I think it would help. The problem is you have to have enough people to make it interesting. Hakeem, women's singles mid-card title, please.
Please,
Hakeem,
explain to me.
I agree. I have said that for a long time. I'll go back just a second. I agree. I think there should be a mid-card title for the women. They should drop the tag titles, have a mid-card title for the women. I think that you could draw more interest there than you do. Although they need to write the good storylines to make it interesting.
Explain to me.
What?
Why would Shayna... What's your problem with Shayna winning the Raw Women's title?
I don't have a problem with her winning the Raw Women's title. The issue I have is creating the storylines there outside of 1 or 2 people that she's going to face that's going to make your stories, extend out.
Okay, well, they could. If they learn how to do storylines and stuff, they could. Why do you always,
Because you have to build up the people. The thing
but
is,
you make it sound like...
And they have to be able to, they have to be able to, when they get those opportunities, they need to be able to step up and do what they need to do. Again, I'll go back to Sasha with what she's done. She did an excellent job leading up to the Bayley thing, and then totally bombed her last promo. And so
I don't think she totally bombed it, but
she was terrible.
No, but I don't think it was.
It went from that heartfelt, you know what? This is coming from the heart. This is my promo. To, oh my, I can't believe that I just won the title.
But the thing about that is they're putting her in a character that she's not that great at, okay? The babyface situation for her is not where she has thrived. Where she has thrived has been the bad guy. They're trying something new. We can't expect her to be great at it, when it's not something that she does very often. Because majority of the time, she's playing the bad guy. Some people can pull it off, some people can't. I mean, it is the way it is.
She was terrible as a bad guy.
What are you talking about?
You want to check her promos prior to... I told you, prior to the whole Bayley thing, her promos were terrible.
You want to take a look at Sasha Banks over the last,
her
I don't know how
promos
many
were
years?
terrible.
Go back and watch her crap from NXT, dude.
Well, then maybe she needs to, suck it up and become NXT worthy then.
Or maybe you should just go back and watch her promos and look at what she was doing there and see how great she was and, jeez, man.
How women's tag team titles go to SmackDown or NXT not just Raw. I would agree. I think they just need to get rid of the women's tag team titles. Mid-card title instead of tag is awesome idea, Hakeem. 100% agree. I've been saying that for... How long have I been saying that? A year? 2 years? Since we started doing this? I've been saying it for quite a while. I'm sorry, Mr. G. Becky's the face of the company, even though she's not coming back till Mania 37 or after. James. Charlotte's the best there is. The best there was. And the best there ever will be.
I think Charlotte is very
Thank you
good.
very much.
Yes.
All right.
If we're talking wrestler, yes. I don't think Charlotte's promos are that great, though. Her wrestling ability... No. I think they're robotic and they always sound the same. Her wrestling? She's good. Promos? Not so sure about that. So...
Hakeem says, and what was the point of splitting up the Iconics if they were going to put Peyton back in a tag team? Good question, Hakeem. No idea. Do not know why. Just seems kind of goofy. That's right, Mr. G, about Charlotte. See? John Lee agrees with me. So then we have Bobby Lashley against R-Truth.
Why? I don't know.
This would have been so much better if they just would have went with where R-Truth laid down and Lashley just pinned him.
I think this would have been so much better if they just hadn't done it.
I just think it would have been better. Because then it would have played into the whole R-Truth gimmick where he's kind of a clown, you know. Not that that's a bad thing, because I think that he does, like, what he does is good. But I think rather than having him get destroyed by Lashley, having him just get pinned because he just laid down, I think it would have been a lot better. Other than that, this was just a pointless match.
Pretty much.
So then Gulak comes out, tries to take advantage of the situation with R-Truth.
And then he gets beat up, and then wins the 24/7 championship because Bobby Lashley lays him over R-Truth.
Yes.
And I'm like...
So next week, James...
What?
James, how many times champion will R-Truth be next week? Because I know you've been like keeping track. So is it going to be like 48-time 24/7 champion or something like that?
I don't know.
This was fine, most entertaining part of the night so far, but why Lashley in multiple Raw segments?
I don't know.
I don't know. Again, I don't like the way they did it. I would rather just seen R-Truth just lay down and then they pins him. I think it would have been good. Would have been a lot better.
So after this we have a Lucha House Party.
43 time by next week, Mr. G. See, I knew it was something like that.
Into AJ's associate. Associate?
Yes.
How do you say it?
Associate.
I feel like AJ Styles, when he cut his promo the other day, he goes, "Yeah, this is my associate." And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Associate?
Associate.
He said it so weirdly.
Associate. Yeah.
That's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
And he said it like, associate.
That's because he's, like, from the South.
I was like, that just sounded so weird.
Yeah. Jordan, AJ's associate. Yes.
He just said it so weirdly.
And then, so AJ says SmackDown lacks someone like AJ Styles on their team.
Okay, hold on. Let me just tell you before this segment. I was a bit like, watching this segment, I was kind of like, well, this was kind of a mess. I felt like this was kind of all over the place at the beginning of the segment. It got better as we went on, but I felt like the beginning here was just a bit messy. Continue.
Styles introduces Survivor Series team members Sheamus.
Well, he claims that he's the team captain.
Yeah. And Keith Lee. Keith Lee questions AJ's title as captain, and Sheamus backs him up.
Shocking.
Braun Strowman comes out and says the only thing Team Raw needs is these hands. Keith Lee questions that. Adam Pearce says he can't find a qualifying match for Strowman because there are no other wrestlers in WWE, so he cannot find anybody that can wrestle Braun Strowman because they send everybody else home for the weekend.
Or they have COVID.
One of the two. Take your pick.
They're kind of limited. And Raw Underground is no longer a thing, and they just kind of, all the people that Braun Strowman is fighting on there, I mean, he already beat all of them up, and they didn't really want to fight him a second time.
Yes. So Keith Lee and Sheamus say, hey, let's fight him. All right.
And then we get Strowman versus
Sheamus. Well, my question is why didn't they just say, okay, this is your team. Here's your 4 guys.
I don't know. I don't know why Adam Pearce was like, oh, well, you have to beat these other 2 dudes that are already on their Survivor Series team. But if you beat them, you get added. But if they beat you, you don't. Like what?
Okay, so did anybody else think this segment was dumb?
I did it first. I mean, it got progressively better as it
Look, apparently I'm not the only one. Johnny Lee just said, why did this match even happen? That is my question.
Thank goodness Underground's gone.
Yes, thank goodness Underground's gone.
I don't know. I didn't have necessarily... I thought, like, the beginning was kind of a mess, and it was, like, kind of all over the place, and everybody was like...
What was the point of this?
I don't know. I mean, it was just to get Strowman on the team for Team Raw, which I guess is fine, and I felt like it was very obvious that he was going to be put on Team Raw anyways, so they should have just added him instead of doing this match. But whatever. Strowman won. And then after the match, AJ encourages everyone to shake hands, and then Keith Lee shakes Strowman's hand, and then Sheamus hugs Strowman, and then he hits him with a brogue kick, which knocks Strowman out of the ring. Then Lee punches Sheamus in the face, and then Styles drop kicks Lee out of the ring, and Styles is like, "Why can't we get along?" And it was kind of it was funny. I laughed. So I did like the end here.
Okay, but no, this was stupid. The whole thing was stupid. Like the point of this was like non-existent. Okay.
It was just to get Strowman on Team Raw. I mean, I don't know.
You have three team members.
You have 5 spots on the team.
Oh,
You have 3 already. You need 2 more. Why not just add him? I don't know. But I thought that it was funny that how AJ Styles was being so over the top with it. And he
is
was
it just me?
Why can't we get along? It was really funny. Anyways.
Is it just me? Or can I read Mr. G's mind? Or Johnny Lee? Am I telepathically sending you my brainwaves so you can read my mind? That is the question. Inquiring minds like yours want to know. Let's boycott Ciampa versus Dream Wednesday. Nobody wants to see Velveteen Dream.
I really pay attention to his matches anyways. I have them on the background, but I don't watch them just because we keep NXT on, you know.
I'll be watching AEW.
Yeah, I'll probably pay more attention to AEW than I will NXT. I mean, I'll obviously pay attention to NXT because we do our show, but it'll be so weird. We'll have both shows. We'll be recapping both shows.
Yes. It will be weird.
A day.
Yes, definitely.
Odd. Anyways.
Then we get Angel Garza backstage.
This was such a, weird segment. I was a bit is this supposed to be appealing to us?
Was he giving me a rose?
I don't know, but this was a bit awkward. And I was like, is this supposed to, I don't know. Because this was just awkward and, weird, and...
Because...
I don't know. He was like...
Because I don't want his rose. I will not accept it.
I miss all of you. You. Yes, you right there. You. I miss seeing your wonderful, smiling faces. Your beautiful...
I got a rose as well.
Your beautiful smiles. And I miss your infectious laughs. I miss you. Do you miss me?
The Garza promo was cringy, definitely. I definitely am feeling some telepathy happening. That's right, you should, Johnny.
Have a rose. Take the rose.
So, my question becomes...
They took it. They took the rose. It's gone now.
Is Garza stalking me?
I don't know what this was. This was just very cringy and very,
Talking bad about Garza? No, we would never do that.
Creepy, dude. Just a bit. I mean, I don't know. It was a bit weird, and I was a bit concerned. And I was
where did it come from?
I don't know. This is just a weird character change. You know what I honestly thought they were going to do?
I think what's happening...
You know what I honestly thought they were going to do, and I would die if they do this. Okay, so we all know that Andrade and Charlotte are, getting married or something, right? I was like... He's, talking to somebody, because I didn't get it at first, that he was, talking to us. I was like, okay, well, he's talking to somebody. And I was like, oh, you know it would be such a slap in the face to Andrade? It would be if if they, brought Charlotte in and did some sort of thing where, they changed her character or something, and they did some sort of, she's going to be the manager for Garza now, and I don't even know what brand Andrade's on. Is Andrade on Raw or SmackDown? I don't know. But whatever. I was like, That's what I thought we were going with it at first, and then they didn't. And they were like, oh, we're giving you a rose. And I was a bit like, okay.
Wait, Garza is cheating on me? Yes, Hakeem.
Hakeem, I need to be the one to tell you this, but yes, he is. He gave me a rose. He gave Mr. G a rose. He gave Ant and Dom a rose. He gave everybody in the chat a rose. You might want to confront him about that.
Yes. Hakeem, you better get on the phone and let him know that you are not very happy with him.
We are done. It's over.
That's right.
I can't believe you would give somebody else a rose, you loser.
Somebody please send the Fiend after Garza. Yes.
Andrade's still a free agent, Maven.
Yes.
Well, then they could do it.
So here's my thought, okay?
It's a totally out there storyline, dude.
I don't,
He's my only fan.
Ant, we're your fans. But I'm not sending you a rose. Okay? Just not doing it. So, here's my thought on this. Since the Bachelor chick, or whatever she was, left.
Oh, is that his gimmick now?
What?
He's the Bachelor.
No, the point I'm making is she left because isn't she the one that like wasn't she from The Bachelor or whatever?
Yeah.
So since she left, he no longer has Zelina Vega like by his side.
He's very alone. He should go back to Charlie.
He's already tried to give Charlie a rose.
And then she was like, well, you
so
gave
now,
Demi what's her butt a rose too, so we're done.
Yeah. So now he's just decided to try and give everybody a rose.
You know,
and he's hoping somebody comes forward and goes, and obviously it's going to be Hakeem, but he's hoping somebody comes forward and goes, I accept your rose.
You know, maybe he should just stop giving people roses and like maybe give a person like one rose to a person, because it really sends the wrong idea.
Yeah.
You know,
definitely.
I think this is why he's lost everybody.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely.
So.
He gave me a rose, so I ended up punching him in the face. So John Elite took him down.
The segment was just so awkward.
Probably because you knew he was cheating on Hakeem, right? That's my guess.
Charlotte is going to manage Andrade. I've seen that rumor.
So now I see what the heel gloves does. Yes, it heals. Charlotte is going to manage Andrade. I know you just said that. I just want to repeat it because you always yell at me for that.
Well, that's what you do.
Demi Burnett, that was her name. Yes.
Yep.
Mr. G.
I hated her. She was
See,
such
I
a
knew
terrible actress.
I knew it.
She was awful.
Yes.
So after this, we have a Firefly Funhouse.
Actually, we had Drew backstage.
We have Drew backstage. Drew accepts Mrs. Morrison's challenge, and that was pretty much it.
Yep.
And
Whoop-de-doo.
and we then have the Firefly Funhouse. Whoop-de-doop-de-doo. That's funny.
Firefly Funhouse.
This was freaking hilarious,
funny.
dude. Okay, so we're in the Funhouse, and they're like, "Oh, hello, everybody," and then we go to Abby the Witch, and she's like, "After what Randy Orton did to us, Orton can go F himself." And then Bliss is like, "Up, up, 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 Abby. We don't say things like that. 10 cents in the swear jar." And then Abby's like, "You can go F yourself too." And then Bray steps in and is like, "I think not." And he talks about how he built a new world from the ashes that Randy had left. And then he's like, unfortunately, it can never be that simple again.
There was a swear jar?
Because
yes,
he never forgets. Bliss then shows us a new trick that she's been working on, and she opens her mouth, and I don't know what this was supposed to be. A tongue, blood,
I thought it was just like
I don't know.
goo.
I don't know. It was red, and it was like
Well, the
coming
whole
out
thing
of
was
her mouth.
red. Like everything they had on there was red.
It was cool, whatever it was. So
I thought it was just like goo stuff.
She spit stuff out of her mouth, and it was
like
really
the
cool.
Exorcist type thing. You know, when the girl pukes all over everybody.
Except that was
green. Yeah, it was green,
and it was very
And it was like poop.
No, it was like
running
very,
poop.
No, it was like very focused and very it was the cleanest spray of vomit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It was very straightforward and at the person.
Yeah.
This was not.
No, this was but it wasn't like a blood. Like blood would drip. This came out
kind of like goo. It was really thick.
So I don't know what it was. It looked like fruit by the foot coming out of her mouth.
That's funny.
Yes, it did. Kind of.
Firefly drool. You.
It could be Firefly drool. It's
That's
possible. Possible it could be that.
Hey, maybe it's that jelly stuff. If we remember a while ago in the Funhouse, they made Ramblin' Rabbit jelly or whatever. Do we remember this? Maybe it's that.
Yeah.
I swear that was the thing.
Bailey is winning Friday. It will be great in the world. Yeah, it could be. Could be great in the world. But it depends on other things that happen. It looks like some type of syrupy stuff, like a red fruit roll-up. Yeah, it's like really thick, runny stuff. Firefly Drool House.
Who's this?
Yes.
The Ramblin' Rabbit Bohemian Breakfast Bread.
That's it!
I think that's what it was, guys.
I don't know what it was. Basically a fruit roll. Yeah.
For sure.
No clue. No clue what it was.
This is a freaking good segment, though.
Yes, it was. Definitely a good segment.
It's real good.
Lacey and Peyton, then they think that are next, and they think Leno will not make Survivor Series.
Oh, so well, then after this, guys.
Since they're building this up, we definitely know Lana's going to do something big in Survivor Series. She may win the whole thing for everybody, including the men's team.
Who knows, man? After this, we have Lana, who cuts promo, and she says, I'm going to turn the tables on Nia Jax. And I'm like, okay, sure. We then get Nia Jax versus Lana, and Nia Jax won, and that was that. After, Lana gets put through a table for the 7th week in a row.
I believe I said that was going to happen next week, didn't I?
Yeah, that was that. We then have R-Truth, who runs into the Hurt Business, and he turns around and goes the other way, and that was that. We then have the Hurt Business promo. He says that he will put Sammy to sleep. Lashley. That's more specifically, that's who said this. MVP wants to collect payment for getting rid of Retribution, and they want a tag team championship opportunity. Woods and Kingston then come out and are like, we are the New Day. A new day is upon us. Yeet. Hoo, 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 hoo. It's your boys, the New Day. And they're all like, you suck, dude. You're terrible. You're awful. You're really bad. New Day rocks. New Day rocks. New Day rocks. New Day rocks. After this, they're like, let's fight each other. So we get the Hurt Business versus the New Day. The Hurt Business won. And that was that. So, yeah, exciting. They'll probably get a tag team championship opportunity between now and Survivor Series. And I would not be shocked if the Hurt Business won and went on to fight the Street Profits. Taking New Day off of that show. The reason they're doing the Hurt Business in the New Day, I think, they're going to end up tying in something with the New Day and Retribution. Because, Kofi Kingston, Mustafa Ali was supposed to be in the Kofi Kingston spot last year. Last year. And he was taken out at Elimination Chamber by Randy Orton and was concussed and couldn't compete in that. Kofi went in as, the wild card and won, and then went on to have this huge, Kofi Mania, baby! That was supposed to be Mustafa Ali's spot, so they totally have the opportunity to play out this storyline of Kofi and Ali, or New Day and Retribution. I think that they could do it, and I think it would be interesting because there is something there.
Yeah.
Did you see the Ali promo video on Twitter?
No, I didn't. But I thought they were going to do something with Ali and Kofi. I don't know. This whole the whole thing. I don't. The Hurt Business, the New Day thing. I don't get. Video. I mean, I just don't. No, I didn't.
You'll need to watch the promo video because WWE is not doing a very good job of promoting them. Ali is going out of his way on his Twitter to get himself over and to try and get Retribution over, which I think is probably the best thing that they can possibly do because they're presented as jokes on television. So essentially in the video on Twitter, he was talking about why Retribution changed their names and, is wearing the masks. And he's like, I wanted them to feel the way I do, with the name like Mustafa Ali. And because of who I am, people are like, oh, you're weird, or they're afraid of you, or they think you're silly or stupid, or whatever the case may be. And he was like, I put them in masks and gave them different names so then they would get to feel the way I feel. And they know what it's like. So, you'll have to watch that video because it was pretty good. So after this, we have Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss. And Nikki's like, I want to know what's going on with you. Lexi, what happened? We used to be best friends, and now we don't even talk to each other. You don't even see me in the hallways. You don't even sit by me in catering. How could you, Lexi? How could you? And Alexa turns around, and she has the creepy eyeballs, and so that was that.
Yeah, I don't know the purpose of this.
Guys, this next match, Ricochet.
Well, these couple segments here I don't get. I mean, the whole Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss thing, they've done nothing with them for so long that, like, bringing this back in,
it's a bit weird.
I don't totally understand.
Yeah. Well, I
they
feel like
probably
they didn't really have
built...
a choice because Cross was out with, like, COVID testing and stuff there for a while. I don't know if she had COVID. I don't know if she was exposed to somebody who had COVID. I don't know I don't know what the deal was. But up until last week, she hadn't been on TV for like 3 weeks because she was at home with the whole COVID situation.
Well, I get that, but they should have tied Nikki into something like where she's like have her shoot her own promos of like, you know, talking to somebody else about, well, Nikki or Alexa and I just haven't like talked. I don't know what's going on, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, and do you have any clue? You know, someone that may have other connections to Alexa. And then leading up to this was just kind of out of the blue of, we just haven't talked to forever. And now, oh, you have scary eyes, I'm running. I don't know. I'm telling you all, Atlanta is being set up to be the sole survivor. I agree. Since we're talking about Lana, what the hell happened to her Russian accent?
She hasn't had a Russian accent for a long time.
It left Johnny Lee. She forgot she was Russian.
She hasn't had a Russian accent for a long time.
Yes. Ollie promo on Twitter, I saw it. Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I'll have to take a look at it. It was really good.
You'll have to watch it. So after this, we have Ricochet versus none other than the man who turned on Otis.
Tucker. He is now a jobber.
Who looks like a very sad person. He did not look very happy to be doing this. Like, at all.
Yes.
I mean, he got beat in 0.2 seconds. This was such a stupid move. He was wearing his old gear. This is so sad for him. Yeah. Going from being part of Heavy Machinery to this, it's like, what's the point?
I don't understand.
It's like, he'd rather be sitting in catering than out there doing this stupid stuff.
Why is Ollie going after Ricochet?
Well, because they were friends. Do you not recall this? They only did this, you know, them working together for 18 weeks in a row.
Well, I did that. I get that, but why? I mean, I don't understand the whole idea behind it.
I don't know, because they used to be friends. I mean, I don't know, because maybe he thinks that, you know, Ricochet isn't being utilized to the best of his abilities, and he wants to try and help him. I don't know.
Who knows?
I'm kind of glad they're trying to reintroduce Nikki and Alexa. Alexa's great, but needs someone to feud with. Yeah, I think ultimately, she's probably going to get a title opportunity down the line. And so...
Wait, that was Tucker?
Yeah, it was Tucker.
Yep.
It's sad but true, dude.
Yes.
I mean, gotta have the dudes at the lowest end of the roster. But still, though, I mean, it's like... It's so just disappointing to see, like, where he was at just, like, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
To now what he's doing. It's just very, like, bleh. It really sucks for him.
It does. Definitely. Guys, I just hit the 1,200 mark on Twitter.
Sweet.
Congratulations, James. Maven has almost hit 1,100 on Instagram. So. And me, I've hit.
What?
Aren't you? How many do you have on Instagram?
1,000. I almost have 1,000.
1,100. Aren't you like 1,086 or something like that?
No, I have 1,050.
Oh.
I'm about halfway there.
Yeah. Ricochet got a win. Yes, he did. Finally. But they still have no clue how to use him.
It's okay. It was okay. So after this we have...
I'm kind of glad they're trying to reintroduce Nikki and Alexa. Alexa's great, but needs someone to feud with. I'm sorry. You went ahead and went on without me, so I have to go back to that because I wanted to speak about it.
Oh, sorry. I was reading all the comments.
I agree to a certain extent. I think
I finished my thought about that either.
They should have led up to this, in my opinion, and not just like thrown into it. I mean, I feel like we were just thrown back into it.
Yeah.
And so I think that they should have kind of leaded up to it. Nikki's like where Nikki's been trying to talk to Alexa, And finally she, they should have like spent a couple weeks where she's just like, I'm trying to find Alexa. Do you know where she's at? Anybody know where she's at? And then like this week she finally sees her and then freaks out. Tucker isn't as good as Mojo.
I think ultimately Alexa's going to end up being thrown in a title shot. Like, she's going to win the title.
Yeah, I would agree.
Probably off of Asuka. So, yeah.
I would agree.
I think that they're ultimately going to do. So, yeah, Ricochet won, and then Mustafa Ali comes to ringside. And Ricochet, I mean, he won the match. That was pretty much all it was.
Yep, because both Tucker and Ricochet get beat up by Retribution. Speaking of Mojo, whatever happened to him? He is now in catering. He's where EC3 used to be. So look for Mojo in the not too distant future. Look for him to be joining Impact or Ring of Honor or somewhere else that is, other than WWE. OMG! I didn't know that was Tucky. Yes.
Yep, unfortunately.
It was, Hakeem. It was.
So then the last thing that we kind of have to talk about, I mean, it was the main event, but we kind of already touched on that. It was Miz and Morrison versus Drew McIntyre. Like I said, we kind of talked about that with the other segment, so we kind of already shared our thoughts on there.
Yes. Is the WWE catering even delish?
I don't know.
Maybe they should invite me over, and I will let you know.
I would imagine that it'd be okay.
Yes.
I mean, it also might be
Probably
trash. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're WWE, so. Kylie Rae.
Yes.
She announced today that she is no longer a pro wrestler. She is she's done, and she was thanking all of her fans, and she was like, I just need to focus on my health and focus on me, and I'm having some problems, and so I am done wrestling. And there's been a huge outpouring of support for her all over Twitter today, which I think is really, really cool. Hope she's okay. Hope everything's good. And yeah, I think she'll do great things. I mean, I didn't pay much. I haven't seen much of her. I haven't seen much of her wrestling. I've seen a very limited amount, but with what I've seen, I've been very impressed, and I think she was really good at what she did. So yeah. That's what I have to say about it.
I heard that news when I opened my phone earlier today. Give me a list says, for everyone who thinks Tucker deserves better, who would you choose to swap his position with on the roster? He goes up, they go down. I agree. I don't think you can move him. I think he's a low card guy. I don't think he's a top-notch guy.
Well, see, I never thought he was a top-notch guy, really. A top-tier guy. I never thought he was a top-tier guy, but I feel like it's just, I don't know, it's just so weird looking at where he was at, like, 2 weeks ago.
He needs to join Retribution.
With the whole, I think that's what's going to happen, honestly. I think with the whole, because then it ties back into the whole Otis and Mandy storyline, because Ali was the one who broke them up in the first place. Or, like, did that whole situation with, like, Sonya and Mandy, and Tucker was involved and stuff. You know? So, I don't know.
I almost forgot to mention this, but did you guys hear that there's a storm coming over here in the Philippines? Is that the hurricane that's coming through there, or typhoon, or whatever you guys call it over there? Because I have heard that there's a storm somewhere over there. I just didn't know. Is that the hurricane and typhoon? So my thoughts on Kylie Rae, and I'm probably gonna have people like going, "What? What are you saying this for?" Okay. She has let a lot of people down. She did it in AEW. She's now done it in Impact. And I'm not talking fans. I'm talking about wrestlers that have been involved with her and in storylines with her. She obviously is not capable of handling the spotlight.
But it might not be about that.
But the thing is she does fine.
Okay, but I don't
You look at it.
We don't know the full story about it.
I don't know the full story. What I do know is this, okay? She left AEW when she was going to they were pushing her to get a title shot.
I feel like it's a bit harsh to judge her over, okay, that's the case that she may have been pushed for things, but she obviously has some problems that she's dealing with, and she might not have them under control like she wants them to be, and she might have had these issues the entire time that
okay, but here's my thought on what she has the trouble with. She has the trouble being thrown into the spotlight and having all the eyes on her, in which case she needs to like speak up and say, I can't do this because I can't be put into this position where I'm going to be or potentially be the face of your company. Obviously, now that she's quit wrestling, which probably is best for her, she should have thought of that before this whole, because she did the same thing in AEW. They build her up, and then I think they were probably getting ready to put her in the title shot, if not give her the title, and she backed out of that. So then she goes to Impact, and you know, they've kind of built her up, and she gets to the point where she has a shot at being in the spotlight of potentially winning the title, and she backs out of that. So this seems to be more of I can't handle the spotlight. I can't handle the being out there and being the face of the company more than anything, because this is something that has now happened twice, where she's going to be the face of the company. At least I think she was probably going to be the face of the company. I think she was probably going to be the face of AEW. I think they were going to push her. She was going to be the champion. They were going to push her. I think that Impact was going to push her and have her be the face of the company and be the champion. And in both situations, she went right up to that point and then backed out. Now, if she couldn't handle that, she should have never, ever, ever put herself in that position. She should have been telling people, hey, I can't handle this. I can't handle being the face of a company. I can't handle being out there. I can't handle being the one that's going to be the one that everyone's going to look at as being the face of the company, because it's just one of those things that I don't like having that. I don't like being in that position. Because both times she built up, she and I don't know, maybe she had issues prior to this, leading up to this. But it seems like she got to the point where she was going to be put in the spotlight, and then that's when she quit. And so she lets a lot of people down. And I'm not talking about fans. I'm talking about the other wrestlers that she has worked with, the people that have been performing with her, the ones that have maybe promoted her and pushed her and to be in the spot she was going to be in both companies. And like I said, after the first time, okay, maybe she needs to maybe there was something there and she just needed to go get some help. But the second time that this happens and everything was built up to this point and then she backs out again, that is where I have the issue. If she didn't want to be in the spotlight and didn't want to couldn't handle this, then she should have just said, hey, I can't do it. Don't put me in that spot. I can't do this. It's not something I can do. And so, especially, and I don't know how long Impact knew about this. If it happened the day of, if I was them, I'd be going, are you kidding me? This is the second time this has happened, and now you pull this off. And so, it makes our company look bad. It makes everything we do look bad.
See, but in that situation, I feel at first after, I will say I was a bit like, this is a bit odd. Just because it had been built up so much for the match at Bound for Glory. And it was a big reason that a lot of people were buying the pay-per-view was to watch the Kylie Rae and Deonna Purrazzo match. And I think that I was a bit, harsh with talking about, like, oh, well, I feel like they didn't, like, handle this properly. And I feel like looking back on it now, if it was something about, she was having issues with something and Impact didn't want to make a huge deal out of it, and they just did this quick on-the-fly change. I think that they probably handled it the best that they possibly could have. So, I don't know. I feel it's hard to judge because we don't know the full story of what the deal is, and I don't feel that it's very fair to sit here and say, oh, well, it's that she can't handle the spotlight. She might have other things going on and other issues that are a problem that we don't know about. And so I feel personally that it isn't quite fair to judge her in that sort of area.
I thought Kylie Rae had some potential. Mental health is a serious issue. However, she clearly isn't ready for the position. It could be that she's having issues in real life outside wrestling. I have no issues with that. I have no issues if you're having those types of problems. But you don't wait till the pay-per-view night and go,
okay, well, maybe
I can't be there.
But maybe she didn't,
okay?
Though, because there was another event about, I don't know, 2-3 weeks prior that she had to pull out of on an independent show that she couldn't do.
Well,
so I don't
obviously
know. I would imagine
something
happened somewhere and she told Impact, and they knew going into the pay-per-view that, she wasn't going to be there. And so, I don't know. I feel like if that was the case, then Impact could have been like, oh, well, Kylie Rae can't compete, and, we're building up this other match instead of telling people to buy the pay-per-view for the Deonna Purrazzo and Kylie Rae match. If they knew, a couple weeks before because she pulled out of this other event, then I think that Impact could have handled it a little bit better. But, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, we don't know the entire story. We probably won't know the entire story. Quite frankly, it's not really anybody's business, the entire story. But, with what Kylie Rae has put out there, she was very apologetic. She was like, I have to deal with myself. I need to get this under control. And so,
PTSD, depression, anxiety, mental health illness doesn't have any controlled timeline, y'all.
I feel like it isn't very fair to sit here and judge.
Well, then if I'm a company, I'm going, well, this seems to happen frequently when you get put in the spotlight. So I and it's probably best she quit wrestling, because then there's no question that she will not have to worry about being put in the spotlight. She will not have to worry about being the one that's going to be the face of the company. She's not going to have to worry about any of that. Like I said, when after the first time it happened, I would say okay.
Or maybe she didn't have it under control. And
hey, Mr. G.
Maybe she didn't have her stuff under control, and she was trying her best to keep it together. And it got to a point where it was just she couldn't do it anymore. And if she tried to keep it all under control, she was just gonna blow up. And so what is she supposed to do? I mean, I think she did the best she could, and hopefully she's okay. Hopefully everything's all right.
Well, I hope she's okay. I mean, but it's one of those things that. So I just wasted $39. I don't know. I just think that it's kind of a coincidence that it's happened both times when she's going to put in the spotlight of the companies. And if she can't handle that, that's fine. I don't have any issues with, hey, if you can't handle being the spotlight, the face of the company, then, that's cool. But you probably should let people know that if you're going to be in that position,
she doesn't want to tell them no because
you need to let them know that you can't do it.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I hope she's okay. And, yeah. Hopefully she's all good and she came out and she said she's not wrestling anymore. Which, I mean, it kind of sucks. She was really talented and she did really, really well. On the very few things that I saw her on, I was really impressed. And I think she had such a unique character, and she was always so happy and just like very joyful about things, and so kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does. I
She
suppose
did tell them she can't do it. Yeah.
I suppose that's my point, Akeem. To turn on Otis was just to try and save Otis's face. He's currently at the bottom of the Raw card with Ali and Ricochet. Know what I mean? Yes, Tucker is at the bottom of the card. Definitely. She just did tell them she can't do it. Yes, but you don't wait till the pay-per-view and go, I can't do this.
Okay, but the thing is, though, if she's trying to keep it under control and she's like, I can do it this time, I can do it, I'm going to make it to the pay-per-view and everything will be fine, and then suddenly a couple days before she just cracks. I mean, there's no timeline for this stuff. She can be fine, and then it can all just fall apart. And I mean, what are you supposed to...
well, I get that, but the fact is and like I said, maybe it's best that she quit wrestling and isn't going to do it anymore.
I don't know. I feel, again, like I said, I feel like it isn't a very fair, argument, but...
Because, I don't know. It's just one of those things that in both situations, you have a company, I know I'm getting the eye roll.
Mr. G, you know how this works.
Mr. G, you know how this works.
See,
I get that, but the thing is in both cases, she was in a position to be okay, but this just didn't happen. Okay, she's been in Impact for a while now. When AEW was going,
the thing is though,
you of all people,
I don't. It's very hard to sit here and judge when we don't know the entire story and what the entire story. She told us. She's having health issues. She's having problems, and she needs to get them under control. It's not the first time this has happened. She has, talked about having issues, in interviews and stuff. And so, she has problems that she's trying to manage and keep under control. And it's not, you don't get this timeline and get to go, today, I'm going to have a mental breakdown, and I'm not going to be okay. You don't really get to do that. It just kind of happens, and I think that, it's... I don't know. She no-showed two big companies. If it was because of her mental health, then I get it. It may not even be mental health. That's what I'm saying. With somebody, with me... I have Crohn's, okay? There are illnesses that flare due to stress. Exactly. Something like Crohn's, you can be perfectly fine one day, and the next day, you can completely fall apart and feel like absolute trash. And that's just the way it is.
I get that. 100% get that. But if you know that this is the situation, you know that you are
cough cough Maven cough cough
having issues with this. You know that you have this
problem.
Okay,
but if the company knows,
if
the company knows going into it, it's not her fault. Okay, the company knows going into it that she has had problems elsewhere. They know. If she has gone to them and told them, "Hey, I have had this issue in the past. I'm gonna do my best to be here for everything that I possibly can be, for as long as I possibly can be, but I don't guarantee anything. So, just so you know, don't put me in a spot where, I might not be okay. Just so you know, if I have to back out of something, it's because I'm not okay. It's not because I'm, ghosting your company and I don't want to work with you, dude. It's because I am not okay, and I need to go figure out my health and stuff."
Well, I don't know. I just think it's one of those things that I get mental health. I get some of that stuff.
Impact could have easily said before she signed a contract or anything, could have been like, "Nope, sorry.
Okay. So you should disclose your illness issues. It might not even be a problem to your workplace. Got it. No, it's not about that. It's about the whole thing is I do get it, Mrs. G. To be honest, Mrs. G, if Kylie is having issues due to stress, then she shouldn't be put in that position. The company hired her based on her being a top talent and probably pay her for that. And that's what I'm saying is you've put yourself in this position. It's like, if I'm a pilot, right? And I fly these little planes, right? And I know that and then they go, here, we're going to have you fly this big plane. And you get in this big plane, and you, like, freak out, right? And then you say, well, I can't do this. I got to step away from this, right? So you step away from it. And then you come back. Some other company hires you. And you go, all right, I'm headed towards this, like, flying this big plane again. And you get in, to fly this big plane again. And you freak out again. You know whether you can handle those situations or not. You should already know whether you can handle that. Especially when everything is being led up to this. So, it wasn't like this storyline came out of the blue. I mean, this was something that's kind of built. You could see it coming. And so, if she was going to have those issues, why don't you say something sooner?
But this is what I'm saying, is if Impact knew going into it with her, if she told them and was like, okay, dude, I've had issues before with stuff, I don't guarantee anything, okay? I'm going to do my best to do everything I possibly can to be here. But no, if I have to back out, it's because I'm having problems. If she told them that and Impact was like, okay, we totally get it, and they were like, here, sign the contract, we're going to put you in this huge storyline, why should she back out of it? She's going to try her best to be there and do what she can. And if something happens, Impact knew going into it, when they decided to do this huge storyline, that she had issues before.
Okay.
So, I don't know, she did what she needed to do, and it didn't work out.
I don't know. I just think that you need to think outside the box, and you think about some other people, about how it's going to affect them and how it's going to affect the company. Because the company looked bad after that situation. There were a lot of people complaining about it.
Okay, so you wanted her to go out there. You wanted her to go out there and wrestle and pass out in the ring. Cool. Epic. Like, cool. I mean, that would have been great, too. Yeah, she should have just been there. I mean, forget everything. Forget, all of that. She should have just been there.
Impact shouldn't have put her into that position, Minnie M. In this example, the company shouldn't have continued to advertise it as that in that night. I think Impact handled it terribly. I'm not saying Impact handled it perfectly. I think Impact probably tried to turn this into a storyline, and then she decided she was going to quit.
I don't think it was about quitting, though.
But I think that's what it was.
But I don't, bro.
Well, maybe not at the beginning, bro. But that's ultimately what she did. She quit.
But it's not about her just up and saying, "Oh, I've had enough. I'm done. I quit. Screw you guys. It's over."
I'm not saying that she had an attitude with it. I'm sure there was
something that led up to it that she had issues with something. So, like, to sit here and go, "Oh, well, she just, like, up and quit." It's like, I'm sure that wasn't what
okay, but
she
this goes back to,
do.
This goes back to the whole thing that I've said about this whole pandemic thing, where people are selfish and they don't think about anybody else.
But it's not
right?
about that, though. Nobody's reputation is being hurt more than her own. Mr. D.
Or is it? I mean, because a lot of people will side with her and go, well, she's got some mental issues. Well, this is the second time she's done this to a company.
Okay, but it's not
about
about
So if I'm this company,
quitting.
I'm going, you know what? I put all this money into this whole thing and promoting and doing all this stuff. And then my company gets crapped on because... And if she's having mental issues, that's fine. But don't put yourself out there in that position knowing that you can't handle it. Because obviously, she could handle it up to that point, up to where she was in the spotlight. And then when she got in the spotlight, had the opportunity to be in the spotlight, had the opportunity to be the face of the company, in both situations, she backed out.
I don't know, like I said, I feel like it's not very fair to, like, judge her because we don't know what's happening, so. I don't know, Impact's reputation is hurt on the night by advertising the main event that didn't show.
And that's why I wonder, when did they know? How soon did they know? Did they know? And here's the other part is if she was planning on coming back and she was telling them, and this is what we'll never know, if she's telling them, hey, I need this time off, I'll come back, give me 2 weeks, I'll be back, give me 3 weeks, I'll be back. So then they could tie, the whole idea of keeping that storyline out there with, because I had heard a rumor that they were going to have a storyline where in that situation where Su Yung had like attacked Kylie Ray in the back, and or attacked Kylie Ray somewhere, and left her, and then ended up showing up for the match. And so if she had told them, hey, I'm gonna, I need 2 or 3 weeks, or a month or whatever, I need the time to be able to take a step back, and then be able to come back and do this. And so, if that's the case, then I don't blame Impact for anything that they've done. I would still promote the match the way it was being promoted and just tie it into the storyline. You can have true mental health turn mental health into a storyline. It could be about her family. Have you ever thought about that, Mr. G? The thing is, I don't think it'd be about mental health. I think this would be about, if they were going to turn it into a storyline, it'd be about like her being attacked by Su Yung. And so, and this is what we'll never know, because I don't know when she told Impact that she wasn't going to do it. I don't know any of that. But the fact is now she's done this twice, and that's the point I'm making is if you can't handle it, and it's not just any company, it's a top wrestling promotion, yes. If you can't handle it, then don't put yourself in that position to where you're going to like affect the company.
I don't know. It doesn't.
That's my biggest issue is if she has true mental health, I want her to get help. I think she should go get help. And go and take care of that.
Is she not supposed to do anything ever again then? If she's had issues.
Well, if I'm a wrestling, here's the thing. If I'm
doesn't matter a crap.
If I'm a wrestling,
that's kind of what I'm thinking here.
But the problem is she obviously didn't have these. She obviously.
It doesn't matter to me. The thing is, she went to a wrestling promotion, and things didn't work out, and that happens. And so that's now a blot on her record. Okay. And then she goes to another company and things didn't work out again. And it's another blot on her record. I mean, I don't know. This could go for any job. I mean, it could be an issue with anything. It's not even just about, like, is she supposed to, like, not go to another... If she did continue wrestling and wanted to continue wrestling, is she not supposed to go to another company ever again and not do anything and just sit at home in a pile of blankets?
Well, if I'm that company, well, first off, here's the thing: if I'm that company, I'm never ever putting her in a position where she's going to be the face of my company. She is always going to be a second or third tier card wrestler in my company, because she has shown that when she steps up and when she has to step up and be the face of the company, that she can't handle it. Which I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with her, whatever the case may be. I don't have any issues with that. It just seems like her, and if it's a mental health issue, it just seems like her mental health always seems to pop up. And this was without knowing her or knowing her life or anything like that. It seems to pop up when she's going to be put in the spotlight to be the face of the company. And so, if another company was to sign her, I would never put her in a spot where she's going to be the face of my company. Ever. Because she's had 2 opportunities now, and she's, like, throwing both of them out the window. If she had come forward, like, a long time before being in the position she's been in both companies, if she'd come forward and said, hey, I have some issues here, I got to take time away, I can't do this, I got to walk away from this, I can't do this, so, I just can't. And before she even gets the opportunity to be, like, their top star, I would have said, okay, go take your time, and maybe we can work something out and you can come back. The thing here is, in both situations, she was about to be the face of the company. Because I think they would have had her win the championship in AEW. I think she would have won the championship in Impact. Because I feel that she was that good. I felt she was charismatic. I felt that she had the things to be the champion. And I want my refund. I think that you know, I don't know how much of it is just not being able to handle the pressure of being in those situations where she's going to be the face of the company, and how much of it is going to be, you know, a mental breakdown of, you know, because of mental aspects of things.
Okay, riddle me this. If
Riddle me
Impact is all, you know, if she told them and was like, don't put me in a position of being a top star. I'm going to sneeze. Don't put me in a position of being a top star. And Impact is like, okay, alright, and then does it anyways. Because they think she's that good and think that she's that over with the people and they want her to be their top star. And she's already told them, I can't do this. But they're pushing for it anyways. What is she supposed to say? I mean, if they're like, we want you to be our top star.
I don't know that.
What is she gonna say? Is she gonna say no? I mean, if they're like, I don't know what the deal is. This is again just all speculation and stuff. But if Impact is all, we want you to be the top star and we want you to do this storyline with Deonna, what is she supposed to say? Is she supposed to say no?
Yeah.
I mean, if she's feeling like she has there's so much like pressure and from like
if she's gonna walk away from it anyway, just tell them no.
Like,
if ultimately she knows she's gonna walk away from it, then just tell them no. Ultimately, we don't know what's wrong with Kaylee, and we will all want her to be well. However, Mr. G's taking it from a company perspective. Yeah, I am talking more from a company perspective, but it's also the people that you work with.
But if the people that she works with, if they understand it's a whole situation and they know her and they know what's going on, then they probably will understand and will probably be like, oh yeah, you can, like, you know, we want you to get
But
help.
the thing is, if she couldn't handle it, she should have, like, said, okay, I can't do this. I absolutely 100% cannot do this. If she says that and she says I have to walk away if you guys put me in this spot, I don't think they would ever put her in that spot.
But maybe you can't point the fingers at Impact because the idea that they pushed her to be a top star. If she can't handle it, she needs to learn to say no. I'm not saying that Impact did. I'm just throwing out another example of, I mean, if in some situations that's the case. I mean, some people, they're like, well, what am I supposed to say? Am I supposed to say no when I'm being handed this huge opportunity even though I know that things might go south? Some people, they're like, okay, all right, I'll do it. And then things go south. I mean, I'm not saying that that's what happened here, but it's just another scenario, I suppose, of many that could have happened. And so I don't know.
So she waits last minute just to say she doesn't want to be in the position. And that's the issue I have is,
but we
is
don't
I
know
don't
that
I don't
that's
know
the
when
case,
I don't know
though.
exactly
And
when
we're
she
not
said it
gonna
or
know.
when
And we're not gonna know. And so to sit
No,
here
we
and
won't.
say,
But the fact is,
oh well,
okay,
she
but
didn't
here's
tell
the thing,
Impact.
okay?
She waited until the day of the pay-per-view. We don't know that that's the case, dude. Like I said, she was taken off of an indie show like 2 or 3 weeks before that.
But she had shown up on Impact like within that time frame, so she obviously knew what she was doing, and she knew that this was happening, and
well,
she
again,
was
like
having
I
this
said,
thought
we don't
of
know.
not being able
We're
to
not
handle
gonna
it.
know. So to sit here and be like, oh
So-
well, it seems to me
No, we
that
won't.
she
But
just
the point is, if you
decided to
can't
pull out
handle
the day of, like, okay, whatever.
if you can't handle it, and you know you can't handle it, don't put yourself in that spot. but your speculation on the company is as difficult as speculating what is going on with Kayla Ray. Does that make sense? Yeah, I mean, that's just it. I don't think that I mean, like I said, if she needs help, she needs help. She needs to go get that fixed, get her mind right, and you know. But I would never, ever, 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 if I was a wrestling company, I would never, ever, ever, if she said, I want to come wrestle for you, I'd say, okay, but you're not getting promoted to be our top star. You're not being promoted to be our top dog. Just so you're aware of that, because, you know, you've had 2 opportunities to do this.
And again, like I said,
and
I
in
feel
both
like that's not very
situations,
fair, because I don't care about the 2 times before, okay? I don't care what the deal is about, oh, you couldn't handle yourself 2.5 years ago when you were given this opportunity, and now that you're back and you want to wrestle again, sorry, you're not being pushed any further than this. I don't care. People change. People grow. Things happen. If she has gotten her health under control, why should she not be given the opportunity?
Did it obviously Impact? Obviously, Impact thought she had her health under control. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been promoting her to be the top dog.
I don't know.
And so, you know, they were left in a bad spot. Luckily, they created, you know, were able to work around it and, you know, create their, you know, their storyline. But, you know, why should a third company give her the shot to be the top dog, knowing that they don't know whether she's going to be able to do it or not?
Did she really know she couldn't handle it? There's many questions.
I don't know. Obviously, this is the second time it's happened.
This is the issue that I have with this entire conversation, is sitting here, you know, oh, well, if she was ever given another opportunity to go to another company, they should just tell her no, and that she can't do anything because she's had 2 incidences before this where she hasn't been able to handle, or whatever the case may be. She's just quit. Okay, well, I don't feel that that's very fair going into this next, if she did another situation of working with another company. I don't feel that that's very fair to sit there and go, oh, well, you had 2 different issues 2 times ago, and sorry, we're not doing anything for you anymore. Like, I don't think that that's very cool.
Okay, but you're a company. You're out there trying to make money. You're out there trying to make your company look good.
Things could always be different.
And so you go out. So you give her a 3rd shot. Not, you know, she's had 2 now. You give her a 3rd shot.
That's what I have an issue with.
And it happens.
You're all like,
what are you
well,
gonna do?
she's had 2 opportunities and has blown both of them. Absolutely, people change, and hopefully she can get the support she needs and learn coping mechanisms to deal with it. As long as she has that, I'd say, as a company, work with her.
They might. I mean, like I said, if I was a company, I wouldn't. Because I'm not going to promote something and then have her, you know, like the week that we have our big pay-per-view where she's going to become the face of my company. And she's already built up to be the face of my company. And I'm promoting this match. And I've been promoting this match now for 3 months, or for a month and a half. And then she backs out. Then I'm going, what? Why, you know, we just did this. You've done it twice now. Not doing it again. What's next? She completes No Shoes next company. Competes in No Shoes next company. Push her to Charlotte Flair levels, but she needs the coping mechanisms to deal with whatever she's dealing with. I agree. I think she needs to. Who's to say she ever expected to be in the position of bailing again? Well, again, how many opportunities do you get? 10, 15, 20, 30, 40? That's why I said, if I was a company, I would hire her. I would bring her in. But I wouldn't promote her to be my top dog. Mr. G, you're assuming she knew this was coming. Most wrestlers probably can tell when they're going to be pushed to be the top dog. If you can tell when you're going to be pushed to be the top dog.
She's been fine the entire way.
Okay, so why has she been fine? Because here's the thing, okay? there's a difference between being the face of the company and, you know, being in the second and third tier wrestling, right? So, knowing that she's going to be pushed, okay? She should have said, hey, I can't do this. I cannot handle this pressure. I can't do it. It's not going to happen. And I find it to be, you know, here's the other issue I have with it. In both cases, AEW...
I'm talking about her health, Mr. G.
We are talking about her. I mean, I don't have any problems talking about her health, okay? But in both cases, and I don't know how much of it's her health, as much as the pressure of being in that top spot.
But
because in both cases...
But it all has to do with mental health.
But in both cases, she was, you know, seemed to be fine. She'd been out there. I mean, I watched her a couple times on Impact, so it wasn't, you know, with
again,
no
like
issues or anything like that. I
said,
watched her on AEW.
Have issues and look completely
They can, but the point I'm making is, in both situations, it was when she was going to be the face of the company.
But I don't care, though. She could have been walking her dog down the street and started having issues.
All right, well, whatever.
It doesn't make a difference.
Well, there's a difference between having the pressure put on you and you being getting more money because you are the top dog in my company and being this person that's just there wrestling and, you know, you're on the card. Perhaps one of them coping mechanisms of growth to say, no, I don't know her circumstances. Well, obviously she had the nerve to say no because... she didn't, like, show up in both AEW and Impact. So, I'm just saying that if I was running a company, I would say I would bring her in. I would let her come wrestle for me. But I would just make it known to her, and this is me just being honest with her, I'd say, I'm not pushing you. You will never, ever be pushed to be a top wrestler in my company. You will always be second or third card wrestler. If you can't do something, you can't do it. Don't push yourself. 100% agree. Seems to me, Mr. G, that you're blaming Kylie for Impact putting her in a bad spot, that she wasn't ready for this on Impact. The thing is, James, if she's not ready, then she needs to talk. You know? I'm just saying. She may not have known if it's mental health stuff that she would react in the same way as with AEW. She's got counseling, meds, treatments. She may have thought she beat it, you know. I have no doubt about that. The issue I have is you're leaving. If you're feeling...
Okay, but see, the problem I have with this entire freaking theory is if she had problems before and if she told Impact, I have had issues before in the past with certain situations. I've had issues, okay? Just so you're aware. And Impact decided to push her anyways, that's their fault.
I don't think any wrestling organization is going to push someone to be their face if knowing that they couldn't be their face.
Well,
I don't think anybody is going to push anybody to be the face of a company if they can't handle being the face of the company. But maybe not. Why would you do that?
Because they want her on the show. I don't know. I'm not saying that's what happened here, but I'm just saying, if she told them and was like, okay, folks, I've had issues before. I've had trouble in the past. I have it under control right now. I don't guarantee anything. And they pushed her anyways. That's their fault.
Okay, well, whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
This has been Deep Thoughts with Mr. Gleen and Maven. Thank you very much. All right, guys, it's been fun. It's been a deep thought chat. If she told Impact, we don't know what she did. She might have wanted this and struggled when it came about, and that's the issue I have with it. Knowing that, and this is why I said I would hire if I had a wrestling company, I would hire her. But I would never push her to be the face of my company. Because she obviously can't handle that part of it. That aspect is where she has the issues. But she agreed to the push. And it may not be mental health alone. MBS, for instance, would render you unable to perform at the last second. I agree. I have no issue. You know, I understand some of those things. And if that's the case, this would be a perfect time for her to use that platform to let people know about, you know, IBS or some of those things.
Okay, but maybe she doesn't want to put that all out there on the internet because, I don't know, maybe she just doesn't want to because certain people don't want every aspect of their life out there.
If you can't do something, don't push yourself. That's my advice. Yes, Johnny Lee, 100% agree. All right, with that, we're going to take off. We will be back Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. AEW and NXT.
AEW NXT. Maybe we will know who the president of the United States is. Or at least have some idea. Well done, guys. Really love the chat, but you both put across intelligent sides to it. Thanks, Gimme Julia. See you Wednesday. Not everyone wants to put themselves out there as the face of their illness. I get that. 100% get it. But like I said, I would never hire her as I'd hire her as to my company, but I'd never push her as being the face of my company. Because it seems like that's when she has the issues.
Let's end on a joke.
Let's end on a joke. Riddle me this. Riddle me that. I don't know. I got to think of a joke.
Can someone explain to me why? I don't know.
A joke.
I don't know a joke.
I'm trying to think.
Oh, I've got a real good joke.
All right. Is it a knock-knock? Because I may forget to say who's that.
So this joke was invented by my 2-year-old brother. Y'all are not ready for this one. It's probably the best joke you're ever going to hear. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Crap.
Crap who?
Crap, I forgot the joke! He does that every time. It's really funny.
I got a joke. What do you feed robots? Robots don't need food.
I don't know.
What do you call a bee that produces milk?
That's funny.
A booby.
Terrible joke.
That's funny though. Write them jokes in chat.
Oh man. Dude, that was a terrible joke.
I'm waiting for Johnny Lee to give me the answer because I don't know what the answer is.
My joke
what do you
was
feed a
so
robots?
much better.
Johnny Lee's gonna leave us hanging here.
My joke was so much better. Knock knock, who's there? Crap who? Crap, I forgot the joke. Pretty sure he came up with that himself.
Kilobytes, megabytes, gigabytes, and terabytes. That's pretty good. Yep. Makes sense now.
What a joke, Hakeem. That's amazing. I've never heard that joke before.
Huh? Oh, gotcha.
I've never heard it before.
Megabytes. Oh, he had megabits. Sorry.
Whoops.
All right, we're going to take off. We'll be back Wednesday. I'll see everybody Wednesday. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for the intense.
Oh, shoot. What do you call a fish with no eyes? Why did the duck get arrested? I don't know.
What do you call a fish with no eyes? I call it eyeless fish. Fishless eyes. I don't know. Why did the duck get arrested? No clue. No clue.
What do you call a fish with no eyes? Fish is an F-I.
What?
S-H. Fish. F-I.
Oh, I got you.
S-H. That was pretty good. He was caught
see you for AEW NXT. All right, Johnny Lee, we'll see you later. He was caught selling quack. That's pretty good.
Oh, man.
All right, we're going to take off. We'll see you guys Wednesday. Thanks for sticking around, even through the intense chat that we had.
Peace out, guys.
Peace out, everybody.